No, I am not coming to you from the office. There is no handbag besides me. I'm actually coming to you from Nasrec. Now, Nasrec is the setting for the ANC's 55th National Conference, which is now like what, around 10 days away? It's just around the corner, really. But it's also been the setting over the past few days of the crisis unfolding in the ANC around its leader. President Cyril Ramaphosa has come under fire following the release of that Section 89 report looking into Phala. Now, the report says that there may be a case for impeachment, that maybe he violated his oath to the Constitution, maybe committed gross misconduct by placing himself in a situation that is in conflict with the duties and responsibilities he carries as a head of state. While that's playing itself out in Parliament, you best believe it is political football in the political arena. Now, we went from hearing that he wants to resign last week. Don't believe that. Strategies are at play. So maybe, possibly, there was a testing of the waters. We went from that, where the president is supposedly tired of leading the ANC, but most importantly, leading the country, to his besties going on radio stations and defending Ramaphosa and speaking about how this is a president who's had an onslaught playing itself in the public space from his own party members. Seemingly, as I speak to you now, he seems to have won the arguments internally. Us as journalists, we've been camping here at Nasrec. Journalists are complaining that there's no milk for their coffees, but we've been stuck here at Nasrec just kind of watching the story unfold. He's seemingly taken charge of the party. His opponents, enter Phala, i.e. Holy Trinity, i.e. the progressive ones, but also the face, really, of that mass mobilization era, that UDF era in the country. Now, these are people who seemingly smelled blood when the Phala report was made public last week. And in doing so, if you pay attention, did not necessarily follow due processes in the ANC. I mean, how does Phala call for an NEC meeting immediately after that? Never mind the gap for the officials to meet, the NWC to process it. And these are the regular ways that issues are dealt with in the ANC. There's a question around how quickly he came to the party. There's also a question really about the communication that happened amongst them. So you got on one hand a Mantashe saying that there was an agreement for Ramaphosa to recuse himself. You got Ramaphosa's office saying he was 25 minutes away. He would have come to the NEC meeting if indeed he was needed. So we're here at the beginning of a new week, but the sitting was actually meant to take place on Friday. And the miscommunication and the back and forth around why Ramaphosa was not there was also a sign that you need to look at to see that there's something agwan, there's something in the air, in the waters that wasn't hitting quite right last week. So you had, on one hand, Paul Mashatile saying to journalists, hey, he doesn't necessarily know what's going on. The president called him, but hey, he's not consulting the ANC at all. You got on the other hand, Mantashe, national chair of the ANC, saying, we agreed that this person shouldn't pitch. Then you have Ramaphosa's office itself saying that the president was 25 minutes away, would have come to the meeting if he was needed. I must very quickly point out that at that meeting, former President Thabo Mbeki said, no, we want him here. We want to speak to him and tell him what we think to his face. Again, that didn't take place, but Ramaphosa met the officials over the weekend, had the NWC on Sunday, and on Monday, he did pitch. Mind you, he was recused from both sittings of the NWC and the NEC that's currently underway, but you do need to pay attention to Paul Mashatile. Previously, I've said the upcoming national conference was his to lose. And that really remains the case. In fact, one can make an argument that it's tilted against him. By the time his allies start writing opinion pieces about morality, it must tell you that they've lost the fights, they've backtracked, they're falling out of favor with many people in the ANC. So it'll be very interesting what happens with that DP post. It's important that he and his people go back to the drawing board, go back to the ground. Otherwise, Paul Mashatile might actually be this upcoming conference's biggest loser. Will Ramaphosa stand or not? That's an interesting one. His besties are saying no. His lieutenants, whose livelihoods and existence in the party and in government also depends on his existence, are saying otherwise. Again, there are multiple strategies at play. Some people's strategies are gaining more momentum than others. They say a day in politics is a heck of a lot. Let me tell you, when it comes to the ANC, no truer words have been uttered. Stick around. There'll be more developments in the coming days.